Hey YouTube, how you doing? It's a Friday night here in Knoxville, and we're going to talk about shopping. We're going to talk about saving money, getting kickbacks, cash back when you buy stuff, and the tariffs, of course. So, first of all, let me just say this flat out: social media is full of all kinds of stuff. Reddit and all the different things I read. There's people are running around like they're chickens with their heads cut off. Um, Let me just tell you right now that prices are not going up 20% because of the tariff. Okay. And I did a little research on tariffs and wondered what that would look like for this industry because everything just about we buy for this hobby comes from China, right? So um, earlier today, I ran across a video that was just done yesterday from Rapido Trains, their YouTube page. And the owner of it just it was right on in what he was saying because I think people think that the tariff is off the retail price of the item, and it's not. It's what Rapido or Walthers or whoever it is, when they have it brought into the country, they have to pay the tariff on what they paid for that product. And I'm going to put a link in the comments below because he tells the whole story about what tariffs are, how they are going to raise prices, and also there's a little story in there about why these trains all come from China, and it's a fascinating story. Um, Pricing is going to go up, yes. Um, the reputer guy even was talking about when it was only 10%, and they got shipments during that period. Those trains that were already now here, so they'll be a little bit more expensive. And then the 20% hits, and they haven't gotten anything with that yet, but they are any day now. So he figured out that for every 10% of tariff, that it would be around roughly $4 and or 4.8% increase in price. So if you and the stuff that came in with the 10% be about 5% more, not that bad. With the 20%, a little less than 10% of an increase if the companies give you put that burden on you versus them having some extra funds to help cover this time. So you don't have to stop and run out and try to buy everything right now. Okay, it's okay. And that was using his model. I mean, he's got a pretty nice company going. Um, and I wonder what like Walters, who buys way more than probably anybody else in the industry, stuff made in China. So they may have a different price structure, but it looked like he was talking about like a $200 train, and they only bought it for 100, right? Because they're going to sell it to a store or a distributor who's then going to sell it to the public. So um, we all need to just chill, relax, take it easy, and do some smart, real smart shopping. Don't just buy it the first time you see it. Boom. Um, my parents and grandparents grew up during the Great Depression, and I've got Scottish heritage in me, and I am a really good shopper. My wife just can't believe the research I'll do for the smallest item, and then plane tickets and or whatever. I am not going to be paying high price for something I can get if I, for example, in plane tickets, just adjust my schedule. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk about a couple train sites um, that sell stuff, and then we're going to talk about eBay, and then please stick around to the end, or fast forward if you want to towards the end, middle to the end. I'm going to show you ways to really, really get the most bang for your buck by getting cash back to different applications. Um, you're not going to believe some of what I can tell you, but I'm telling you the truth, and I can back it up. So, first website I always go to is trainswithaz.com. Excuse me, my voice is going. And um, I won't get into the whole story of this guy, but the guy who owns this is amazing. He's been in the business forever. He had started a store on eBay back in 1997. Was selling millions of dollars of stuff. He even says in his story that's on their website that, they sold $5 million in a year on eBay, but he didn't make hardly any profit on it because back then it was almost all auction. There was no pay now, so the auction deal was killing him. Eventually, he built this website, and he's doing amazing. I mean, if he was doing 5 million back then, I can't imagine what he's doing now in business because they just built a brand new facility that's 73,000 square feet. It's cool. So I go there and I click on. And then I get on there. Well, first thing I do is I sign in. Okay, I sign into most train websites because they have some sort of payback feature, and these guys do too. It's not as good as some of the other ones, but the thing I like about it is that if you go, the first thing I click on is the clearance section. It's right at the top of the page, a big yellow square. Okay, you can't miss it. And there is stuff in there that is marked down so low you wouldn't believe it. Right now there's a Hooker chemical car made by Broadway Limited, so it's brass. I'm pretty sure. List price was $139.95, and they're selling it for like $32 right now. This guy does a wonderful thing with making this hobby affordable. They buy a tremendous amount of old stock, people use stock. They bring it in, they grade it as to its quality. Excuse me, and they'll group like 9 freight cars together, maybe different makes. Sometimes they're all the same make, but most of the time they're different makes. You can see this picture, you can click on it and blow it up and look at all the cars. And like 9 cars on there's the one I was looking at today was $27 for 9 of them. And there's cheaper ones than that. If they're really not very well done, they're even cheaper than that. They have amazing stuff on that website, and I would suggest that any website that you go find their clearance and see what's in there, especially when you're dealing with freight cars, because you're not normally too picky with that as far as having to have the right road name and the right numbers on them and all that. So it's a great website. Okay. Another one that I shop at is the Yankee Dabbler. They have a tremendous inventory. They have great customer service, and they have a thing called Monday night closeouts. And it's right. And when you go to the Yankee Dabbler, click on that because it's right in the upper left-hand corner, and it'll take you there. And they have stuff there. Some of it's maybe 20% off. Some of it's 66% off. There's some Walters cars on there that I think it was 43%, something like that, 45% off. And look for those deals first before you go running through all the other stuff that they got on their website. So that's just a little, background of what I do because I won't buy anything until I've researched it and found the best deal I can possibly get. So, that all said, let's talk about eBay. You all know about eBay. You almost everybody who's watching this video has bought from eBay something for trades, right? So, it is a huge market. Um, I have a store on there called B&M Black Rock and Mohawk collectible B&M trains and collectibles. And I went out and bought some lots that just happened to come up at just the right time for me. I think it was almost a miracle the way this thing worked out. But I have this store. I got all this stuff. This is how I fund my railroad. I'm retired. I'm on Social Security. So, um, and I got first dibs in that. I don't recommend that you do this because there's a lot of junk out there. But we got this store, and if you're going to shop on eBay, I would strongly suggest that you look at the percentage of happy people with them. It should be close to 100%, right? Ours has been 100% from the day we opened this particular store. Top seller, we're good. We ship fast. I live in a mile from the main um, mail center here, so it doesn't go get picked up in my mailbox, taken to a substation, then go over there. It actually saves about a day. But anyway, um, look at that, and let me tell you something that most people, a lot of people, and I do this too. You shop on eBay on your phone, right? When you've got nothing else to do. If you run across several items from the same dealer, the same store, there's a thing called combined shipping. Okay. Now, for some reason, I haven't checked on this lately. It doesn't work on a phone. My wife says that it works on an iPad though, but I didn't see it, so I can't vouch for it. I vouch for her though, and it makes a big difference. If you buy 4 items, let's say, from the same vendor, you put it in the cart, you go there. Now, the stores, the dealers have the option to provide this combining the shipping. Some don't. Most of the good ones do. We do. So when you buy something on eBay, they're thinking you're only going to buy this one item, and that one item is going to go in one box, and then we figure out the price, and that's the way we ship. So with combined shipping, what you'll do is you put 4 items. Let's say you go to B&M Trains and Collectibles, and you put 4 items in there. Okay, and each one has a shipping cost to just ship just that one piece. So let's say it's $5 to get to you, and each one of those is $5 to get to you. So that's $20 in shipping. Okay. If and people miss this line, they're so anxious and happy to just buy stuff. There's a line that if the dealer has this combined shipping, it says, would you like combined shipping? And you say, yes, please. I'd very much like that. Thank you. And uh, what happens is you're agreeing to buying these 4 items, and you see this shipping cost down here, but it's going to be less for the shipping cost. And you're going to agree to whatever that shipping cost is. You're good with it, good to go. So I get an email. I take these 4 items. I put them in one box. I weigh them. I put in the information in eBay to find out how much that costs, and that's what you'll actually pay. So if it's like the $20, like I said, for 4 items at $5, instead of $20, it'll be like 7 or 8. See what I'm saying? And most people don't know about this, and they don't know about it because a lot of us do it on our phone, and we don't read all the stuff on the page. So I'm just telling you, do that. You need to do that. So with all this craziness going around, and I'm starting a YouTube channel, and the fact that Um, the tariffs are coming in and everything, and our store has done really well. Um, I mean, the money that I spent was taken care of a long time ago, and so this is all going in here, right? So I'm going to give you a coupon for anything and everything. It's good through the 4th of July, actually. So now we're going to get to the fun part, the part I like the best, and that is saving money. Now, I talked about Walters. Um, Shop there. I suggest that you get, when you go in there, you can, sign up, and they have this thing called the Yard Master. And so when you're looking through their website, they have a lot of stuff on sale. And if it's not on sale and you're in Yard Master, I always want to say Train Master, Yard Master, you get 10% off of regular stuff. So that's a good way. Plus, you get points. Now, I've been buying stuff now for probably 6 to 8 months, and I bought a lot from Walters. And you get these points, and you start out with like one or I think you start with 2 points per dollar, then you go to three, and now I'm at 4 points per dollar. And the last shipment I had enough points to use a $20 certificate to take off my order, which is great, man. I mean, I'm all about discounts. So they always have a code for each month. They don't necessarily publish it to everybody, but if you sign up, you'll get one of these once a month. And on the back is always a discount code. This one's 10%. And I'm going to tell you for the rest of April, if you're watching this in April, you got then the next 2 weeks, you can use code FLY3425 at checkout and get 10% off. And I also know that you can use that coupon again and again in that same month. I've done it. So that, I'm all about saving money. I tell you what, this train it's a Walters mainline. It is, retail price on it is $219.95. Okay. And I bought it for, what did I buy it for? Oh, wrong page. About $146. Okay. So that's pretty good. That's like $60 off. And I really wanted it. So it came down to, here we go. I used a 10% coupon, and it was 128.69. Okay, with the 10% off. So I'm like, that's great. And it is DCC and lock sound, however you want to say it, in it. Runs great, sounds great. And this was the 142 price was the lowest price I could find this anywhere. So don't just think Walters is just always high price. They're not. When they want to get rid of something, they mark it down, and you'll get a deal, and they'll let you use codes to do it. I did it. I know you can do it. So I would sign up at these shops. Excuse me just a second. I pick this up. Now here comes the fun part. Okay. So cash back. You're not going to believe some of this, but okay. PayPal. Everybody in trains, I think, uses PayPal on their websites. So you can take advantage of that. They do have a thing called, I think most people see it when you go in, you always hit the PayPal button if that's the way you're going to pay. Go to your website. They go to the website, and for a lot of people, it'll say that you have the option of doing PayPal credit, which just takes, if you pay it off in 6 months and make monthly payments, there's no interest. So what I would tell you to do, if I know there are times I've used it several times where I didn't want to pay all that money out this month, uh, so I use it. So I do the PayPal credit, and immediately go to my PayPal account, set up the auto pay for this, and I make the first payment. So $120 item, for example. So that's $20 a month. I make my first payment then because I don't want to pay any interest. And if you don't make the payments right, they do start giving you little fees. I learned that the hard way. So you can go in there and use that. But what I did a few months ago, they have a card now that's called the World Card, PayPal. And at any place that uses PayPal, you get 3% cash back. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. Um, 3% on expensive items give you some cash that you can use. I have a Capital One card, credit card. And by the way, I always pay off the balance every month. I never pay interest. Never. Never. My background doesn't allow me to. So this credit card from PayPal has real high interest rates, so don't miss your payments. But with 3% cash back, and I use it primarily for the stuff in here, you know. But if I see the PayPal thing, like on Shopify stores, I've had a couple of Shopify stores, so I know what I'm saying here. You have an option, and the top one normally is PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, blah 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 blah, and click on that. Go through there, you'll see probably the credit or your bank account and your bank account, and you can sign up for this card. And I use it all the time for anything that has to do with PayPal. The Capital One card I was talking about, I get 3% cash back at grocery stores. I only use it for grocery stores. Don't use it for anything else. You know how much groceries are, right? Like my wife and I go to the store about every 2 weeks, $200. That's pretty good. And it does matter. You can get this money back. Now, all that said, and if you can find another card that's got 3%, go for it. Um, buying stuff on eBay or whatever. But they're rare. So, but this is the one that'll put you over the top. I would have you put put on your browser the Capital One shopping. Now, you don't have to have a credit card. You don't have to have a bank account with them. It's nothing. It's free completely. So you do that and put the Capital One shopping app on your phone. And most of the time, the biggest thing it does is when you go to checkout, it knows all the codes for discounts at that site, so it tries them all. If one works, great. If not, they say, well, you got the best price. But when you're looking at maybe more expensive items, um, I would tell you to just maybe I'll tell you the story. So I was looking for a color printer, and I wanted a cheap one. I was just going to use it for do stuff on the layout, make signs and stuff, rather than buy them. And so I go to the printer I have now is a laser printer from Brother. It's worked for I don't even know how long I've had it, a long time, and works great. So I went to their website first, and I'm looking at color printers, and they have this deal going with this color printer that's $99. Inkjet, it's fine with me. And it was the first place I went to, and I'm not a person to buy something I see the first time till I see what everybody else has got. So I kind of walk away from it. So I get an email from Capital One Shopping saying, hey, if you buy this printer, this exact one you were just looking at, you're going to get $70 cash back. And I'm like, what? $70? Can't be right. Can't be. And I did do some more shopping, and that was the best price. And I was like, "It's a brother. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll buy it and see what happens." Bought it for $99. A few weeks later, got $70 cash back. Printer only cost me 29. I don't know how they do it, and I don't care. Doesn't matter. So, and I've used, and I have had smaller discounts because of either their codes or telling me through an email about something that I already looked at. But then about a month ago, um, my wife and I, you know how unsafe the internet is with your credentials, right? And we've had some problems, so we decided to look into a LifeLock. So I go on the website, and I was like, man, this is a little expensive. I didn't know it was going to be this much. So I walk away from it. I talk with the wife. I get an email. It says, if you sign up for LifeLock, we're going to give you $200 cash back. What? It can't be right. That's about what it costs. And I kept reading the email over and over again. I'm going, this is it. So I went ahead, clicked through. I tend to just keep going through the app on my phone to find something just to make sure I get whatever rewards are there. And we got $200 last Monday. Now, this thing all goes into like an account. And at this point, I think they're going to change this. And I don't know for sure if they're going to, but what you can do is you get like gift cards, but it's the stores and websites that I use anyway. So, like in those two transactions I mentioned, that's $270. That is free money. Free. I know you don't believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. I may have to figure out a way to put it. You can see what I've got in my account right now, without giving away too many details. But it's crazy, man. And if you do all these things, you sign up to try to get points to give you better um, buys, in the future. That's great. You look at clearance. You look for all the sales. You get use cards to give you cash back. Um, you knocking it out of the park, man. I mean, it's awesome. So that's all I got for you today. Um, I didn't say anything about a budget, but if you're in this hobby, you need a budget. I have a monthly budget, and I stick to it. There's only so much I can buy in 1 month, and maybe one item, and then it's gone. That's all I can do for this month. Maybe a $7, I don't know, something. But no, that's it. I hope this helps you. Um, I'm going to put a link for those two. I'm going to put a link for the Rapido train thing where you can see the owner of the company telling you this is how we're doing it. And I would guess that Walters um, probably, it won't be as much as what we think it would be. But I think, and there's another video I'm going to put to you. It's Scale Trains about 2 years ago did a video, and it's long. I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's really interesting because it shows you how they design it, and then they go over to China to oversee the production of this. And the guy from Rapido, he's got a great story about the reason that everything comes from China is that there is this part of southern China that a guy like 80 years ago brought in people who could build models and started doing train models. And so this whole area is practically everybody that lives there builds model trains. And it's fascinating. So, I mean, it's good to know why things come from where they do and how things are made. It's awesome. So I just tossed that in. I'll let you go. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Bye bye.